Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Duelists Discussion. Me and Richard here, your hosts, will be talking about Hearthstone. It is a video game that represents a tabletop card game with World of Warcraft as the source material. So, how's it going, Richard?
Pretty good. Excited to get this podcast on the road.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, Hearthstone is a free-to-play, online, card-based video game for the PC, Mac, and iPad. No other consoles or anything announced at this time, but it's definitely going to be online. It is designed to be extremely friendly to everyone, regardless of their background to trading card games or the World of Warcraft universe, which, like I said, is the source material for Hearthstone. It draws characters and such from that. It is a two-player game. You choose one of 9 heroes with unique cards for each of them that support like a specific playstyle, you know.
Yeah.
In one-on-one matches, players take turns playing cards from customizable decks that cast various spells and abilities and minions, all in an attempt to deplete the opponent of their health. And once that happens, you win the game. And you can concede if you know you're going to lose, and so on and so forth. However, players must also juggle various mechanics that some cards introduce in addition to the primary resource used to play cards at all, and that is mana. Now, every turn, a player is granted 1 additional mana that contributes to a maximum total that is refreshed every turn. So, for example, you cannot play a card that costs 7 mana until at least turn 7, unless other card mechanics interfere, which there are, that can pull more cards into your deck and give you extra mana or, you know, so on and so forth. And furthermore, every hero, the character you choose, the class, which is preset, every hero has a special power costing 2 mana that can dramatically augment their strategy and change the gameplay. Now, closed beta began in April, and beta invites have hardly reached the masses. It doesn't seem like anyone's happy with how those have come out. While Blizzard has been giving beta keys away through contests on Facebook and stuff, it appears unanimous, me included, I feel this way, that fans want less hoops to jump through and more invites after deliberately opting in on the battle.net months in advance. I don't know anyone except fellow podcasters that have beta keys.
Yes, it seems that they're using the beta keys sparingly in order to get more exposure for the game, which I understand. And it makes sense from a company's aspect to put your product in the hands of people that are going to give it more airtime, if you will.
Yeah, like some exposure, some teasing.
So people can see what the game's all about, and they can get people excited for it.
Yeah. I think it's too much hassle. It's not making fans very happy when everyone wants one really badly. And on Facebook and stuff, it appears that people are using like bots and that kind of thing to kind of trick the system, and they cheat other perfectly suitable fans out of their beta keys, and people are getting kind of screwed over with scams and so on and so forth. It's a pretty hot game, I would say.
Yes, I mean, I've been excited for it from the moment I heard about it. I knew I was gonna fall in love with it, and I don't even play TCGs or anything like that. Like I've watched multiple matches of Magic, and I recently started playing SoulForge, but I've never been excited or looked forward to a card game ever in my life, and this one is just amazing.
Yeah. Company Blizzard, they definitely always put out some pretty quality stuff. It's already so polished in beta.
Yes, it is.
It is supposed to release this year. Fingers crossed for soon, because there's just simply not enough people in the pool of players to play with. So yeah, we're really looking forward to that unanimous release. It's going to be free to play. You can buy cards to augment your decks, and those go for about $1 per 5 cards, so to speak.
Yes.
And opening them is very, very polished and beautiful. It's a game in and of itself. It's just such a treat.
Very, very cosmetically appeasing.
Yeah, this game is just beautiful.
I believe there's also, for the arena game mode, there's there's a in-game currency that you use to take a round in the arena, in which you have to win 9 games, or well, you have to win 9 games without losing 3 times. And the further you get to that goal, or the closer you get to that goal, the greater the rewards
Hmm.
once you complete it. And I believe there's, um, aside from the in-game currency which you earn from regular battlefield matches, you can also purchase it with real money. I believe it's $2 to just go ahead and enter the arena without having to get that little bit of gold, which is it's reasonable amount of effort to get the gold in
Hmm.
game free, but you know,
Yeah, it's a gamble for sure because you kind of got to put a little bit of money in the pot to really be a part of it. But if you win, those rewards are quite worth it. You
yes.
really break even about halfway through, I believe. So, but as far as the 9 classes in the game goes, there's 9 heroes. These are figures from lore, from the World of Warcraft universe that are very notable and reputable in their own way. Can't say everyone agrees on the choice of them because you can't change them. As at this time, you can't be your own avatar or anything like that. It's just kind of like your mascot, so to speak. And there are 9 characters, 9 different play styles for the most part. And we're going to start off explaining those. For the first one is the warrior, Garash Hellscream. He is very, very,
Man.
very popular right now.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's kind of a jerk. His offensive strategy is mainly focused at dealing damage and mitigating it with his hero power, which grants 2 armor to bolster his health. So he's kind of like a tank, and all his cards represent that with weapons that
Hmm.
really attack and hammer. I'm
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm really gonna play with this guy because he's not really. It's not really. I've never played the Warriors, you know.
Me either. The warrior. Um, I don't want to say it's my least favorite. It was my least favorite class in World of Warcraft, but it's definitely one of the last ones I decided to level up. And that's just me, my personal preference with any RPG or any kind of game. I typically stick towards mages and rogues type classes, but
Yeah, yeah.
um, this his strategy in Hearthstone in general seems kind of like a ramp up effect where if he can't get his armor up with his hero passive, or his hero power, I mean, I'm sorry, and while maintaining damage, eventually he'll lose. So he kind of has to come out of the gate and get ahead. So it's kind of a gamble. At least that's the way I see it from the outside looking in. I watched like a few streams of the game, and like
Hmm.
just doing like number crunching, theory crafting based around the character. That's the way I feel he should be played. But
Yeah, it
of
seems like
course.
a brute with just loads of power.
Hmm.
Like you, I like to sit back from a distance and just let the fireworks fly with a mage or a spellcaster, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, secondly, we got the rogue, who is Valera Sanguinar, I believe. I'm not familiar
Yes.
with this character in the WoW
I
universe.
believe I believe that is correct.
Well, like a rogue, any good rogue in WoW, um, uses the cards use poisons and kind of backstabbing, sneaky maneuvers to cunningly defeat the opposing player's minions and kind of pick at their health a little bit. Very, very tricky if played properly.
Uh, the general consensus on Rogue as a hero right now is that they're very overpowered. Um, I hear a lot of streamers and forum posts, people complaining that the Rogue is just doing their doing their job much too easily, and it makes it very difficult to uh, defeat one at the moment. So I'm sure Blizzard's working to fix that balance issue, because that's never fun in any game when one class or one specific type of strategy is just so much more effective than the others that you can't even begin to have a chance to beat them. So
Right. You think it's like the cards themselves, the rogue's cards, Valera's cards that need rebalancing, or do you think it's that other decks, other players' cards, they don't really have the tool set to combat the rogues cards?
Um, I honestly can't tell. I want to say it's the effects that are in the rogue decks that cause her to be uh overpowered.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just haven't had enough uh time watching and theory crafted and all that to decide whether it's the other people need buffs or if she needs nerfs, you know?
Yeah. Sounds
So,
like it just needs some more refinement tuning. And that's what the beta
yes.
is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, secondly, we got the mage, or thirdly, thricely? Is that a word?
I don't think so.
Thricely, we have the mage. Very popular character
Oh yeah.
in different ways. The mage, Jaina Proudmoore. She is a human. I don't know about the other two. Garrosh is an orc. Valera is a night elf?
I believe she's a blood elf.
Oh, okay. Well, Jaina Proudmoore is a human, and as mages, though they're fragile, famously fragile, Jaina is capable of dealing massive damage while maintaining board control. As long as she's got good control of the board, and she's got the opposing player, right where she wants them, she can just hammer away at their health with very powerful and visceral spells. Those cards are just also very offensive, and it really attracts me, this kind of a playstyle, because it's just aggressive, but it's not so straightforward and brawling like the warriors. I really like this deck. What do you think?
Yeah. I do. I believe the mage, as usual, will probably be one of my favorite decks, if not the number one favorite.
Yeah.
Because in World of Warcraft for PvP, my favorite class is my favorite spec of mage is Frost, and it's the same exact strategy. You control your opponents and you deal massive damage. As long as you maintain that control, you can pretty much do whatever you want with the opponent and just make their life suck. So
Yeah.
I like the fact that I'm fragile. So if I make a mistake, then I pay for it, and it personally makes me better because I'm so afraid of messing up that I tend to learn it better.
Like a personal handicap, right?
Yes.
And perhaps if you get good enough, you'll have to play the mage. Just make sure you're on top of your game, which is interesting considering you learned to play the game as a mage before you were able to play other players. I don't know. I'm really fond of their polymorph card.
Oh yeah.
That'll turn the opponent's card into a sheep, rendering it virtually useless for the most part.
And her hero power is Fireball, which is a good chunk of damage in itself.
That's just direct damage, right? Right on the player's health?
Yep, just direct damage. I believe it's 4 damage out of the total 30.
Man, that could add up really quickly, provided they have good board control. Well, next up is the Shaman, Thrall, former leader of the Horde, one of the 2 factions in World of Warcraft. He is a veritable shaman, and his use of totem cards in particular, as the shaman facilitates much totem use. His totem cards deal damage while also wrestling board control. It helps facilitate a really customizable strategy. Very good utility, the shaman, right?
Yes.
Shaman. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Shaman doesn't seem to be too popular.
The shaman was actually the first hero I saw in action on a stream once they started giving out the beta keys, and the shaman won against, it was, I believe, a warrior, and the hero power summons a totem, and I believe the totem has the totem can either be a healing one or a damaging one. Let me double check that. I'm gonna pull up the information here.
With being able to heal and damage, that provides some pretty enthralling utility. You could really change the tide of the battle. If you're losing, you just throw out some healing cards, provided you draw them, right?
Yes. Okay, see, here I found it. He actually has 4 different totems that he can summon. He can summon, and it's random, so you can't exactly choose which one you get. You can have the healing totem, which restores 1 HP to all characters on the field.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
including the opposing players.
no, just all friendly. All friendly units that have taken damage to receive 1 HP heal.
Not bad.
There's a taunt totem that it forces the next attack towards that totem to mitigate damage from yourself or your other cards on the field. Searing totem, it just does plain damage, 1 attack damage to I'm not sure if it's the enemy player or you choose which target that it hits. And then there's the Wrath of Air totem, and it buffs your spell power, making your spell cards do 1 more damage.
Well, there's quite an opportunity for different playstyles with that. Different ways to turn the tide in battle, it seems, with the shaman.
Yes, and I believe that's where the problem lies. It's kind of a RNG, random number generation issue, where
I see.
if you get, say you really need that heal card or that heal totem, and you just keep getting a searing totem, doing that damage is good, but you can't do damage if you're dead. So
right, it's true.
if you keep getting the wrong card, and I can understand how that could make the shaman not having full control over something that that's like a major part of your class. I can understand how that could be off-putting for players.
Yeah.
So.
Well, next up is the warlock character. It's Gul'dan. Am I pronouncing that right?
I believe it might be Gul'dan.
Gul'dan.
But I'm not 100% sure.
Is that a Mortal Kombat character?
It could be.
Sounds familiar. Well, Gul'dan attacks, if that's how you pronounce it. He attacks from a distance with crippling spells, like illnesses that slowly damage the opposing player over time in various ways, like the warlock plays in WoW, while also utilizing a host of demonic minions, voidwalkers, so on and so forth, imp. Very interesting playstyle. I'm really looking forward to the warlock. What with their unique hero power that allows them to take 2 damage to their health, to be able to draw an additional card. It feels like you could get to, a third of the way through your deck just by taking a good few points of damage, and you could really get the cards you need in your hand if you're maintaining where you need to be.
Yes, and that concept of sacrifice for power is very synonymous with warlocks in general.
Yeah.
Across anything Blizzard's done, especially of course World of Warcraft, and when they sacrifice, the warlock has always used their HP as well as their mana as a resource.
Yeah.
They have ways to sacrifice their HP, but they also have a lot of ways to regain it. So some people see that as a weakness, but fall into that trap because they say, oh, you're hurting yourself, so all I have to do is so and so and so. But when the warlock heals himself back to full HP unexpectedly, and you've been slacking off, it can mess you up. So I like the warlock. I like the concept strategy that the warlock employs a lot.
I agree. I'm definitely going to be playing this one come open launch. Warlocks will definitely write your death sentence with their own blood. No problem about it. Next up is the priest, Anduin Wrynn, the king of the Alliance, so to speak. His son, Anduin Wrynn, he's the priest in Hearthstone, and his powerful healing magic cards, they fortify his defensive strategy, which is key for the priest, while enabling breathing room to pick out the opponent with shadow magic. What do you think about the priest, Richard?
Well, personally, thanks to the recent expansion, Miss Pandaria. I personally do not like Anduin as a character, but
No, you got some bias.
yeah, I like Priest as a class though, so it kind of counteracts and balances out, I guess.
Yeah.
I hate for the character and love for the class. But Priest is actually pretty interesting. They have 3 hero spell powers, which I believe is the most hero powers, and it's only because they have Shadow Form. And if you're familiar with Priest in World of Warcraft, Shadow Form is a talent from a specialization on the class that allows you to, instead of being the typical healer, you actually turn around and do quite a bit of damage.
Yeah.
And so when you use this spell Shadow Form, your hero power changes into Mind Shatter or Spike, one of the two.
Spike sounds like an attack. Well, they both sound like an attack.
It's Shatter first, and then if you cast Shadow Form again, then it's Mind Spike.
I see. Well,
Or I might have said that in the wrong order, but that's simple.
Either way, I think we can both agree we're not looking forward to the Priest as much.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I've never liked the Priest as a damage dealer, but
yeah,
they're viable, but
squishy like the Mage, which is not as powerful for me.
Yeah.
Well, next is the Paladin, Uther Lightbringer. A very Paladin-esque name, wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Like Anduin, Uther can also heal, providing powerful utility, like the Shaman, different skill set and tools and so on and so forth. However, his offensiveness, his strategy, his offensive play can be very crushing.
Yes.
Looking forward to the Paladin. I played a Paladin a lot during WoW. Looking forward to the consistent wins that I can expect with Paladin, I imagine. Am I wrong?
Paladin has always been like my guilty pleasure, I guess. I never wanted to tell people I'm leveling a Paladin, or because they're kind of like the, oh, you're one of those guys kind of characters.
Yeah.
But I love the class to death.
It's like an easy mode, isn't it?
Yeah, it's such a relaxing class to play because you don't worry about anything.
Yeah.
Like for everything that comes up, you have something to counteract it, and that translates well into Hearthstone.
Yeah, I feel like Hearthstone, much like Hearthstone, the Paladin is easy to play but difficult to master. What with all the utility they bring to the table.
Yes, and they can do a variety of things. They can be a healer, they can be a damage dealer, they can be a tank, and in Hearthstone, you want to get the right balance of all 3 aspects of Paladin's abilities to overcome your opponent.
Mm-hmm. Looking forward to playing the Paladin for sure.
Yeah,
definitely got some interesting cards. What with the theme of holy and retribution.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Next up is the Hunter, Rexar. Hunter has got a very interesting deck. He seems to be the only card like his class, apart from the Warlock, controlling others. The Hunter is very good friends with his minions. His pets pick at the opponents, while the Hunter lays about clever trap cards that the opposing player might not yet know their fate until they accidentally stumble upon the wrong trap card. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's not good.
It's not good at all. If Hunter's played very well, it can be definitely a very tricky class. Loads of unexpected surprises await the Hunter, and the Hunter has to use evasion to keep a distance because the Hunter's not so great close combat. I would not recommend putting a Hunter and a Warrior within 10 feet of each other. Wouldn't work so good for Rexar. Yeah. Finally, though, is the Druid, Malfurion Stormrage.
Such an amazing name. I love that name.
Me too. I'm gonna name my children Malfurion, the first and the second and so on. Stormrage, I'm not so sure. No? Okay.
No comment.
The Druid, Malfurion. is capable of healing, dealing, and mitigating damage, like the paladin and the shaman, right?
Yes.
So it provides astounding player utility. Again, more choices to play. I think the druid is probably going to offer the best utility, best bang for your buck, if you will. I'll probably play this deck.
I'll give Druid a whiz.
What deck are you? I'm sorry.
It's mostly because I've never liked Druid in previous like games. I've never liked the Druid-esque class.
Yeah, you don't like the shape shifting?
Yeah, I don't like the shape. I don't like the whole aspect of being a jack of all trades.
Oh, I see.
But good at many, master at none. I don't know if that's how the expression goes, but
Close enough.
Close enough.
Yeah.
But see, the difference here is that utility and it is much more profound in a card game than it is in an MMORPG, for example.
I see.
So I'll definitely give this one a try. It's definitely not it's not the deck that I'm like, well, I probably won't even bother with that one.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely give this one a try. I'm looking forward to seeing what this one has to offer.
Well, I'm looking forward to the Warlock deck. What about you? The Mage?
The deck I'm most excited for, it's either, I don't want to say Rogue because it seems like that's what everybody's saying just because it's the strongest right now.
Of course.
Rogue is my favorite class in any game ever, usually. So I would say Rogue, but for the sake of not sounding too quote mainstream, I guess.
Yeah. Trendsetter or follower.
Yeah, follower. If I have to be a tie between Warlock and Paladin. Those are probably my two like major decks.
Well, everyone, that concludes the character introduction. So when do you think this game's going to come out? Maybe December, November?
I'm thinking Blizzard's they're gonna pull a smart one and release it close to Christmas time.
You think a holiday release will benefit this game? I mean, it is free to play. I'm not sure grandmas and grandpas will know any better than to buy decks for their youngins.
That's true. I didn't think of that, but I mean, even still, a holiday release is still. But they couldn't. I don't think they wanted to release it too close to other major game releases, such as Grand Theft Auto, which did amazingly. It was amazingly successful, and when you have a game that huge that comes out, you can't release it too close to another game like that because everybody's going to be playing the game that just came out. So I don't know if they're waiting. I'm not sure if that's what they were waiting. If they were waiting for other major titles to die down in popularity, so this one could be the focus of everyone's attention.
Yeah. Well, launching an online game is going to be a big deal. You know, there's lots of problems that come with that. If they're going to be launching it so close to the holidays, the staff is going to want to go on holiday break, right? They're not going to want to sit around and maintain this game.
Yeah, that's another aspect of it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of,
I'm sorry, go on.
It's kind of tricky because, there's nothing really attractive about the month of October, and in terms of game releases, like I don't know exactly when they plan on doing it.
Yeah.
So I can't really put my thumb on it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe neither.
It might the release date might spill over into next year. So.
You think it'd get pushed back? It wouldn't be out of character for them to say, "Oh, it's coming soon." Trademark on it soon.
Yeah. But at the same time, you have to think about this is Blizzard.
Yeah.
And they're known for anything they release being phenomenal. though a lot of people were let down by Diablo 3.
Yeah.
Wasn't exactly what they were expecting, but it still did pretty good for something that was not 100% what people were expecting.
And then those new consoles are coming out this year, and that's really going to take up some time, some player
Yeah,
time.
and I don't know. I'm not a major corporation. I don't know exactly their thought process on release dates. So, but from my personal point of view, I would try to wait until the attention is off of other major titles, so there's nothing distracting players from your game.
I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if it was pushed back, but it's so polished already.
Yes, it's such a beautiful game, and it's in beta, which is it's
Very,
not rare for major companies, but it's not common either. I don't want to say
yeah, it's very early beta too. Not a whole lot of
yes,
people playing this game,
very early beta.
um, unfortunately. So, what are you playing, Richard?
Um, I've recently gotten into Papers, Please.
Oh, that's that indie game, right?
Yeah, it's like an indie documentary thriller suspense horror. It's like I did
It's
not expect to love this game as much as I do.
but it's work though. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
What's the premise? What do you do?
Well, okay, so the story is set in Astrovska, or I can't pronounce it. It's like fake Russian,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be like there was a conflict between your country and a neighboring one, and you work as a border patrol agent that uh, denies or gives access to the country. Let me reword that. That sounded weird.
It's like a
Okay.
Big Brother type of theme, right?
Yeah, you're like you're giving. There's citizens trying to come from the other side. Some of them may be citizens of your country. Some of them may be citizens of the neighboring country that you recently resolved a conflict with.
Yeah.
But I mean, with any conflict, there's uh, still the select few people that still aren't over it. They're still fighting. So there's you have to filter out terrorist attacks, people carrying weapons,
So
and
you
you're
basically
equipped with
play border patrol, right?
yeah. You're just you inspect each person that comes through, and if you find any discrepancies in their say their birth date doesn't match the birth date on their visa doesn't match the birth date on their ID card or like stuff like that. You question them about it, and if they can't give you a good enough reason to why there's a discrepancy, you have to deny them access. And it starts out simple. For example, the first level, you're like, everybody from this country can come back in the country. So anybody with this logo on their passport, basically, let them in. And then they start adding things like work permits and ID cards, and it
Just more
just get
things to inspect,
yeah
right?
more things to inspect up to the point where you're doing full body X-rays of people to see if they're carrying bombs. And then there's other small side stories to go along with it, such as there's like secret organizations that try to get you to join with them to uh, like maybe your character, maybe you didn't agree with your country's decision to fight these people and you're against it and you want to get revenge on your own country.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll take that path, or maybe you'll expose that group, or
So there's like moral choices in this game.
yeah, there's moral choices. And like I was telling you the other day, or I was reading an article and it was talking about how this game brings out the survival instincts in humans and
Because you got to
how
take care of your family, right? You got to
yeah
make
you
choices.
also yeah the whole time I completely forgot to mention that the whole time there's a day-to-day schedule and you're making money per person that you get through without any mistakes, and if you make a mistake there's penalties, you take fines to your money.
Yeah.
And
You only have so much money, right?
yeah, you have very small amount of money and you have to take care of four relatives. I believe it's your mother-in-law, your uncle, your wife and your son, and they get sick, they can get hungry, they can get cold, and it's a lot of decision making for your family involved with that well as well. And it's crazy how you start to get attached to these imaginary people that you never even see in the game.
Yeah, it works on your
And
conscience.
yeah,
That's
I
pretty
mean,
revolutionary for a game
yeah,
like this. Because at its core, it's like just like the old highlights magazines you see in the dentist's office. Find the
yeah,
difference, right? You just match it.
yeah. It's such a simple concept, but it's executed like beyond perfection. It's an amazing game.
I agree. It's definitely revolutionary. I also think it's boring, but it's kind of intentional, right?
Yes, it's like in terms of gameplay, like mechanics and objectives, it gets boring.
Yeah, you're just sitting in
But
a booth all day comparing things, trying to spot the difference, and it gets harder and harder. It
it
feels like
feels
work.
yeah, it feels like you're at work. But the thing that makes it like the reason why I go through it, this is why it's so amazing to me because as boring as this game, like this is literally something I could be doing for a job. You're literally like doing a virtual border patrol job.
Yeah.
But the fact that I have to make decisions that affect people that I apparently care about now, and decisions that affect the country as a whole, because your decisions, they give you a newspaper update every level that what you decided to do, who you let into the country and who you didn't let into the country. Different things happen inside or outside of the country.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily the gameplay that keeps me hooked. It's the story and
What it
the decision.
represents, right?
Yes, what it represents.
Really puts you in this world.
Hmm.
Well, that's on Steam, I believe, right? How much is it? Do you know?
I got it when it was on sale. It was like $5 for me, but I think normally it's like 10.
Yeah, that seems fair, I guess. You know, this is kind of a
Yeah.
small game. There's like 30 endings or something like that.
Yeah, there's 30 endings, and they tell you which one you get every time you reach one.
Yeah, it's really short play. I personally spent like maybe 2 hours in it. I don't know where the time went. And I kept asking myself if this was a good use of my time.
Yes,
But
Favorite Place is definitely one of the. It definitely gets my award for most interesting game of the year.
interestingly boring, I would say. Myself, I've been playing some Grand Theft Auto 5. That's pretty good.
I I don't I haven't played Grand Theft Auto since Vice City, so I wasn't super excited for this game like everybody else was. It's not like a moral thing or like I feel the game is wrong and I shouldn't play it. It's not anything like that. I just I haven't played console games regular unless it was like a major release. Like I bought Tomb Raider for the 360. I bought Metal Gear Rising Revengeance for the 360.
Yeah.
But I prefer to play on PC, and Grand Theft Auto isn't known to be on the PC. I believe Vice City and San Andreas are on there. Actually, I think eventually all of them make it to PC, but on a release, I don't think they typically are on PC.
Yeah, I believe they want to make as much money as they can as possible before it hits PC, and they get a few sales, but like piracy is so huge on PC.
Yeah, piracy. Uh, Piracy is definitely a major problem
Yeah,
on PC.
but it's a fun game. You know, I could see why loads and loads of people would want it.
Yes.
It's worth the money, definitely.
There's
If you
so
haven't
much content.
Yeah, if you haven't played, it's a good time to come back. Much like the Animal Crossing game, it's a good time to come back if you haven't touched the series in a while. The premise is basically the same. It's Grand Theft Auto. My girlfriend likes to call it Great Car Thief because she doesn't get the acronym. But the premise is the same. You know, it's just crime, but it's also polished. It's polished in a way it's moving the industry forward, like every game it does. It's moving the industry forward with new standards. It's just
Yes.
so polished in every way.
Setting the bar.
Right, raising the bar. Um, I don't know. Everything about the game is just so wonderful, but it definitely does have its flaws. Um, I think Rockstar's biggest problem is overcoming their latest and greatest achievement. But
Yeah.
yeah, somehow they always do it. It takes them 5 years or so, but somehow they always do it. Definitely recommended play. It's very hard to play G-rated. So if you have like kids around, that kind of thing, you really can't do much but just stand there and hopefully no one walks past you and starts cussing you out. It's very immature. Yeah, but it's just loads of fun to be able to have control over that, and the story's wonderful. You control 3 different characters, and it might feel like that's a bit too much to take on, but it's just staggered in just a very balanced way. Some characters you don't seem like you would ever like Trevor, who's a maniac. You grow to love very much so, because all his missions are just great, and he's just wacko. He's such an eccentric. So we're going to close things up. You can find us on Squarespace at duelistdiscussion.squarespace.com, no apostrophe, and Facebook at facebook.com/duelistdiscussion. Again, no apostrophe. Richard and I are on Twitter at ExodusRB and Devin_Casey. All right, thanks everyone. See you next time.